The greatest illusion of the poor is not lack of money. It is the belief that poverty is imposed from the outside. They speak of missing opportunities, unfair systems, bad timing, the wrong country, the wrong boss, the wrong family. These explanations are comforting because they remove guilt. If poverty is external, then failure is not personal. Responsibility dissolves. So does power. This illusion is not accidental. It is a psychological defense, because the truth is far more brutal. Poverty does not come from a lack of opportunity. It comes from systematic self-sabotage. Most people are not defeated by the world. They are defeated by pressure, not extreme pressure, not catastrophe, but sustained, unglamorous, ordinary pressure, the kind that does not break bones, only posture. The world does not crush them. It tests them, and they fail the test repeatedly. Pressure is not a punishment. It is a sorting mechanism. Markets, careers, businesses, relationships. Every arena that produces power applies resistance by default. This resistance is not designed to stop you. It exists to reveal who cannot continue. Those who interpret pressure as injustice never progress. Those who understand pressure as a filter adapt. This is where the poor misread reality. They believe hardship is a signal that something is wrong, that they chose incorrectly, that the system is broken, that someone else has an easier path. So they search endlessly for relief instead of capacity. But wealth is not built by those who seek relief. It is built by those who increase their tolerance. The modern world quietly trains fragility. Comfort is normalized. Discomfort is medicalized. Boredom is treated as a crisis. Criticism is framed as harm. As a result, most people develop nervous systems incapable of long-term strain. They want progress without friction, growth without cost, reward without waiting. Such people cannot become wealthy, not because they lack intelligence, but because they lack durability. Durability is the ability to remain effective while uncomfortable, while uncertain, while unseen, while unrewarded. This is the rarest trait in the modern age. The poor man avoids pain instinctively. He designs his life to minimize tension. He escapes environments that demand too much. He abandons paths that stop feeling encouraging. Over time, his world shrinks to match his tolerance. The powerful man does the opposite. He assumes pressure is permanent. He stops asking why things are hard and starts asking how to function while they are. He builds routines that do not depend on motivation. He builds identity around endurance, not emotion. This difference compounds quietly. One man seeks environments that feel good. The other builds himself to survive environments that don't. This is why most people remain exactly where they are. Not because they lack ambition, but because their daily habits betray it. Their behavior contradicts their desires. Their comfort is prioritized over their future. Here is the ruthless truth few are willing to face. If you were truly worthy of wealth, your life would already look different. Not perfect, not easy, but structurally different. Your habits would reflect long-term thinking. Your tolerance for discomfort would be higher. Your excuses would sound embarrassing to you. Wealth is not attracted to wishes. It is attracted to structure. Those who deserve more behave differently long before they receive it. They are harder to shake, slower to react emotionally, less dependent on reassurance, more capable of staying still while others panic. The poor misinterpret this and call it luck, or privilege, or arrogance. It is none of those. It is conditioning. Until this illusion is destroyed, nothing else matters. Strategies fail. Skills are abandoned. Opportunities are wasted. Because every plan eventually collides with pressure, and pressure exposes who you really are. The world does not withhold wealth out of cruelty. It withholds it out of indifference. It simply rewards those who can endure what others cannot. Once this is understood, excuses lose their appeal. Complaints feel childish, and the search for shortcuts ends. Because you realize the problem was never opportunity. It was who you were under pressure, and until that changes, No amount of opportunity will save you. Quitting. The chronic disease of the weak. Quitting is not a decision. It is a reflex, and reflexes reveal conditioning. The weak do not quit because something is impossible. They quit because discomfort exceeds their tolerance. The moment effort stops feeling rewarding, the moment progress slows, the moment certainty disappears, they retreat. This retreat is rarely dramatic. It is quiet, rationalized, and repeatable. Quitting is not strategic adaptation. It is the inability to remain present in pain. Each time you abandon something because it becomes difficult, you reinforce a destructive pattern. Pressure equals exit. Over time, this pattern hardens into identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone who finishes. You become someone who tries. Trying is safe. Trying preserves the ego. Finishers are exposed. Finishers must confront results. This is why most people live in permanent preparation and never in execution. The modern world celebrates flexibility, but confuses it with inconsistency. Moving from opportunity to opportunity is praised as exploration. In reality, it is avoidance. It is the fastest way to guarantee you never master anything. Depth requires time. Leverage requires depth. Wealth requires leverage. Those who jump endlessly remain shallow. They accumulate experiences, not power. They collect starts, not outcomes. They never stay long enough for competence to compound. The winning individual does not search for easy paths. He understands a principle the weak refuse to accept. Every path becomes hard once the illusion wears off. The difficulty you encounter is not unique to your choice. It is universal. This is why quitting is such a reliable predictor of poverty. Not because quitting wastes time, but because it prevents accumulation. Every system rewards those who stay through the unglamorous middle. This is where knowledge becomes intuition, where effort becomes efficiency, where chaos becomes structure. Quitting resets you to zero, every time, and the cost is invisible at first. You believe you are being smart by cutting losses early, but in reality, you are cutting yourself off just before returns begin. Most rewards are delayed on purpose. Delay is the barrier that keeps the uncommitted out. Discipline does not make you happy. It was never meant to. Discipline exists to give you control, and control is the foundation of power. The weak seek happiness first. They design their lives around feeling good, but feelings are unstable. When feelings dictate action, consistency collapses. The disciplined man accepts temporary discomfort in exchange for long-term authority over himself. This is the trade. Quitting feels relieving in the short term. Tension disappears. Responsibility lifts. Comfort returns. But comfort is expensive. Every retreat trains the nervous system to fear strain. Over time, even small challenges feel overwhelming. Life becomes fragile. The strong experience discomfort and stay anyway. Not because they enjoy suffering, but because they understand the cost of escape. They remain when progress is slow. They remain when feedback is negative. They remain when results are unclear. This ability to stay when others leave is the real competitive advantage. Quitting also poisons confidence. Each abandoned attempt becomes evidence against you. You begin to expect failure. You lower your standards preemptively. You aim beneath your potential because your history has taught you that you won't last. This is how poverty becomes self-reinforcing. The disciplined individual does not rely on motivation. Motivation fluctuates. He relies on structure. Routines replace emotion. Systems replace willpower. The question is no longer, do I feel like it? But is this what I do? When quitting is removed as an option, behavior changes. Creativity increases. Problem-solving sharpens. You stop asking whether something will work and start asking how to make it work. This is where power begins to form. The chronic quitter believes he is unlucky. The disciplined man knows better. He understands that staying, long after enthusiasm fades, is what separates those who accumulate from those who perpetually start over. Quitting does not protect you from failure. It protects failure from ever being challenged. And as long as quitting remains your reflex, wealth will remain permanently out of reach. The valley of death, where the ordinary turn back. Every path to power passes through the same terrain. The scenery changes, the language differs, the context shifts, but the structure is identical. Those who reach the top recognize it immediately. Those who fail never understand where they actually died. The journey always begins with blind optimism. In this phase, ignorance protects confidence. The future feels generous. Progress seems inevitable. Effort feels light because expectations are unrealistic. This stage is necessary. It gets you moving, but it is also deceptive. Soon after, optimism collapses. Reality introduces friction. Results slow. Complexity emerges. What once felt simple reveals hidden layers. This is the second phase, informed pessimism. And this is where most people turn back. They misinterpret this moment as failure. They say the timing is wrong. The market is saturated. The competition is unfair. The opportunity was overhyped. These explanations feel intelligent, but they are emotional exits dressed as logic. Difficulty is not proof of error. It is proof of contact with reality. This middle phase is what separates amateurs from operators. It is commonly called the Valley of Death, not because it kills everyone, but because it kills illusions. Fantasy cannot survive here. Only structure can. The ordinary mistakes struggle for misalignment. They believe that if something were right, it would feel easier. This belief is fatal. Nothing valuable feels easy once understanding replaces ignorance. The truth is ruthless. The path is not wrong. You are simply no longer protected by naivety. Those who survive this phase do not do so by enthusiasm. They do so by discipline. They stop seeking validation from early results and start focusing on execution. They trade emotion for process. Eventually, something shifts. The third phase emerges. Practical mastery. Confusion declines, patterns become visible, effort becomes more efficient. Progress resumes, not because the path softened, but because the individual hardened. This phase is inaccessible to quitters. It exists beyond the point where most people leave. Mastery is protected by boredom, frustration, and delayed reward. Only those who tolerate these costs are allowed to enter. The Valley of Death is not a test of intelligence. It is a test of endurance. The weak flee here because they demand reassurance before committing further. They want proof before paying the price. The powerful accept that proof comes after persistence, not before it. This is why opportunity hoppers never win. They restart the cycle endlessly, chasing the high of blind optimism while avoiding the responsibility of mastery. They are addicted to beginnings because beginnings do not require competence. Endings do. The world does not reward starters, it rewards finishers. Those who turn back at the valley comfort themselves with stories. They say they are being realistic. They say they are cutting losses. In truth, they are conserving comfort. And comfort has never built anything of consequence. Power is accumulated by those who continue forward without guarantees. Those who understand that clarity is earned through repetition, not bestowed through inspiration. Once you grasp this structure, quitting becomes illogical. You stop asking, "Is this worth it?" and start asking, "Am I willing to pay the price long enough to reach mastery?" Most people are not, and that is why most people remain ordinary. The Valley of Death is not cruel, it is precise. It does not discriminate. It applies the same pressure to everyone. The difference is not the path, it is the person walking it. Those who endure emerge transformed. Those who retreat return unchanged. Convinced the problem was external, it was not. It was the moment they confused difficulty with direction and turned back. The man who asks permission will never rule. Power does not coexist with hesitation. The moment a man asks for permission, he reveals a fatal truth. He does not trust himself to decide. And if he does not trust himself, no structure of power will ever trust him either. Seeking advice is often disguised as prudence. In reality, it is usually fear wearing the costume of responsibility. When you ask others what you should do with your life, your money, your direction, you are not gathering wisdom. You are outsourcing authority. And authority, once outsourced, rarely returns. The man who waits for approval is condemned to live inside the limits of those he consults. He inherits their caution, their anxieties, their ceilings. Even when advice is well-intentioned, it is filtered through the advisor's own failures, regrets, and untested assumptions. Consensus does not produce clarity. It produces paralysis. The more opinions you collect, the less decisive you become. Conflicting viewpoints cancel each other out, leaving you immobilized. Eventually, doing nothing feels safer than choosing wrong. This is how ambition rots, not through defeat, but through delay. The poor believe permission reduces risk. The powerful understand it eliminates momentum. History does not belong to those who asked for consensus. It belongs to those who acted with conviction, while others hesitated. Every meaningful advance disrupts existing comfort. This is why approval is rarely given for decisions that matter. If everyone supports your move, it is almost certainly harmless. And harmless decisions do not alter outcomes. The man who will rule does not seek reassurance. He seeks alignment with his values, his standards, and his future self. He develops an internal authority that does not require applause. This is not arrogance. It is sovereignty. When you rely on external approval, your confidence becomes conditional. It rises and falls with feedback. Praise inflates you. Criticism paralyzes you. Over time, you lose the ability to act independently. You become reactive, not strategic. This is fatal in any arena where power is concentrated. Those who accumulate power understand a simple law. Action creates clarity, not the other way around. Waiting to feel certain before acting is a luxury of the timid. Certainty is the reward of those already in motion. Most advice is not based on knowledge. It is based on fear. People project their own limitations onto you and call it caution. They warn you away from risks they never had the courage to take. If you listen long enough, you will adopt their restraints as your own. This is why the man who waits for permission remains trapped in the life of the person who grants it. Power demands separation. It requires standing alone long enough to establish a new reality. Those who cannot tolerate isolation will never lead. They will always follow trends, opinions, and moods. The man who chooses himself accepts the cost. He understands that conviction will be misunderstood, that his decisions will be questioned, that support will arrive late, after results appear. This does not bother him. He is not performing for approval. He is executing a strategy. Asking permission is a habit, and like all habits, it trains the nervous system. The more you ask, the weaker your internal authority becomes. The less you ask, the sharper it grows. Eventually, a line must be drawn. Either you decide your direction, or others will decide it for you. There is no neutral position. The man who rules does not wait to be chosen. He acts, and reality adjusts. And those who hesitated spend the rest of their lives explaining why they almost did the same. Investing in markets before investing in yourself. The poor man dreams of multiplying money. The strong man builds the ability to create it. This distinction is rarely understood and almost never respected. Most people want returns without transformation. They search for leverage in markets because they lack leverage in themselves. They believe money is the problem, when in reality, competence is. Chasing investments before building capacity is not strategy, it is delusion. Markets do not reward hope. They reward skill, discipline, timing, and emotional control. These qualities are not purchased through assets. They are forged through experience. A man who cannot consistently earn will not suddenly become wealthy by attempting to multiply what he barely controls. Multiplication amplifies whatever is already there. If your discipline is weak, it will amplify weakness. If your judgment is poor, it will accelerate loss. This is why most beginners lose money when they enter markets. They bring an unstable operator into a high-leverage environment. The poor misunderstand return on investment. They measure ROI only in numbers. The powerful measure it in identity. The highest ROI available is not in stocks, crypto, real estate, or any external vehicle. It is in the person you become. Skills compound faster than capital. Character compounds longer than markets. A capable individual can lose everything and rebuild. An incompetent one cannot protect even a gift. Money does not respect those who do not respect themselves. This is why the early pursuit of markets is so often a distraction. It allows people to feel productive without confronting their deficiencies. They refresh charts, watch trends, and chase signals, mistaking activity for progress. Meanwhile, the fundamentals remain weak. The strong invert this order. They invest aggressively in skills that increase their earning power. They buy proximity to those ahead of them. They seek mentorship, repetition, and pressure. They trade comfort for capability, not because it feels good, but because it works. They understand a ruthless truth. Until you can earn consistently, investing is irrelevant. The market will always exist. Opportunities will always cycle. But the window to build yourself closes faster than people realize. Time wasted chasing returns before building competence is time stolen from your future authority. The poor argue against this. They say they need money now. They want shortcuts. They want the upside without the grind. This mindset guarantees scarcity because markets punish impatience more severely than ignorance. The strong accept delay. They understand that patience is a weapon. In a world addicted to immediacy, the ability to wait is a competitive advantage. Most people cannot tolerate invisible progress. They need constant feedback. The strong do not. Investing in yourself does not provide dopamine. There are no dashboards, no daily spikes, no public applause. The returns are quiet and delayed, but they are also durable. A man who can turn a small amount of money into a larger one through skill alone is more powerful than any market. He is not dependent on conditions. He adapts to them. This makes him dangerous, in the best sense of the word. Markets do not save people. People save themselves. The goal is not to find the perfect investment. The goal is to become unignorable, to reach a level of competence where opportunities seek you out, where capital flows toward your skill rather than the other way around. When this happens, investing becomes trivial, not because it is easy, but because the operator is solid. Losses are absorbed, gains are compounded, emotion is controlled. The poor never reach this stage because they skipped the work. They tried to look rich before becoming valuable. They chased symbols of success instead of its foundation. The strong know better. They build themselves until money has no choice but to follow. Listening to the powerless, slow suicide. Advice is never neutral. Every suggestion carries the weight of the life behind it. When you listen to someone, you are not just hearing words, you are absorbing standards, fears, and limitations shaped by their outcomes. This is why listening to the powerless is a slow form of self-destruction. Advice has value only when it is backed by results. The poor ignore this rule. They treat every opinion as equal. Family, friends, co-workers, strangers, any voice becomes a guide. Familiarity is mistaken for credibility. Comfort replaces qualification. And so they take direction from people who have never built anything, never risked anything, never endured anything worth emulating. This is intellectual negligence. You would not take medical advice from someone who has never studied anatomy. You would not take combat advice from someone who has never been in a fight. Yet people routinely take life and money advice from those who have failed in both. Then they wonder why their progress stalls. The reason is simple. You inherit the ceiling of the people you listen to. The powerless normalize fear. They call risk reckless. They call ambition unrealistic. They label discipline obsession. Their language is defensive because their lives required justification. They had to explain away what they never pursued. When you stay close to such people, Their worldview becomes ambient. You absorb it without noticing. Over time, caution replaces hunger. Excuses replace standards. You begin to accept less, not because you chose to, but because it feels normal. This is how environments shape destiny. Your environment determines your standards. Your standards determine your behavior. Your behavior determines your outcomes. Stay around those who accept scarcity, and scarcity becomes reasonable. Stay around those who rationalize failure, and failure becomes inevitable. The powerful are ruthless about this. They do not argue with the powerless. They simply disengage. They understand that proximity is influence. Even passive exposure rewires expectations. If direct access to powerful people is unavailable, they create indirect proximity. They read what the successful read. They listen to how winners think. They study how those with authority make decisions. Exposure precedes elevation. This is not imitation. It is recalibration. Once your standards rise, mediocrity becomes intolerable. What once felt ambitious begins to feel insufficient. This is not motivation. It is conditioning. The mind adapts to what it repeatedly sees as normal. The poor resist this truth because it threatens their social comfort. Cutting off bad advice often means creating distance from familiar people. This feels disloyal. But loyalty to stagnation is self-betrayal. No advice is better than bad advice. Silence is preferable to guidance that keeps you small. Doing nothing is less harmful than moving backward under the illusion of wisdom. Those who rise learn to ask one brutal question before accepting counsel. Has this person built what I want to build? If the answer is no, the advice is irrelevant, regardless of intent. The powerless often react defensively when ignored. They feel dismissed. They accuse you of arrogance. In truth, they are uncomfortable witnessing choices they were unwilling to make. Your ambition forces them to confront their own inertia. This tension is unavoidable. Growth always creates distance. The powerful accept this cost without resentment. They understand that leadership requires separation. You cannot rise while anchored to those who fear elevation. Listening to the wrong voices does not cause immediate collapse. It causes gradual erosion. Standards soften. Urgency fades. Dreams shrink quietly until they fit inside other people's comfort. This is why listening to the powerless is slow suicide. Not dramatic, not obvious, but terminal. Those who accumulate power do not argue with limitations. They starve them of attention. They choose their inputs carefully. They curate influence. They protect their standards as aggressively as their time, because they understand one final law. Who you listen to determines who you become. And becoming small is far easier than becoming powerful, especially when everyone around you encourages it. The wrong partner, sabotage from within. The most dangerous enemy of ambition is not failure. It is proximity to someone who fears your growth. Power and money do not change people. They expose them. When resources expand, when options multiply, when direction sharpens, the true nature of a relationship becomes visible. Some partners strengthen under this pressure, others collapse and attempt to pull you down with them. The wrong partner does not oppose your goals openly. That would be too obvious. Instead, resistance appears as concern, as subtle doubt, as repeated questioning framed as care.